Today I want to show you 2 comments I recently received on my channel, and these are just incredible to me, so encouraging. And yet they bring to mind a warning that we should all take to heart, and I want to just make that warning explicit for all those who are, like me, watching with Joshua for Nisan 16 through 17 Rapture this year. So the first comment: thanks for sharing, Devin. I'm led to share with you again that on February 18, during sleep, I was shown the name of your channel and told that your date is correct. I asked which date, as there was no context given. I wasn't seeking a date, and was told April 12. I checked your videos and posts at the time, but didn't see anything regarding that until the Epicenter video from 3 weeks ago. I left a comment, but it looks like it was removed. The song on my mind upon waking, How God Speaks to Me Most Often, was Your Faithfulness to Me by Life Church Worship. Be encouraged. So what I want to point out about this comment is that on February 18, I had just posted, the day before that, a video. You can see it. It's entitled The Take Me Home Dream. And this video was specifically pointing toward April 12th. So I don't know why she didn't notice that, but I guess she didn't watch the whole video. Go watch that video, The Take Me Home Dream, and you will see that I was just a day before pointing out April 12th through that video. Now, what do I think about April 12th? What am I presenting on my channel? I'm actually not presenting that that day we'll see the rapture. I'm presenting that that day is the exact center of the April watch season, which is all about Nisan 16 through 17. And there's a season because we have multiple versions of Nisan 16 through 17, 2 in fact, that we're watching. We're watching the commonly reckoned version, and we're also watching the biblically reckoned version, where the month commences with the full moon. And so it creates a span of 21 days, 7 plus 7 plus 7 days, and the exact center of that span of days is April 12th. April 11 sundown to April 12 sundown, because we're basing it on Hebrew days, right? So if God was telling her in a dream that I'm right about April 12, he's probably not saying that April 12 is the day of the rapture. He's probably telling her, hey, Devin's right, that April 12 is the center of a season you should be watching. And, watch with Devin. So that is just so cool. I am so encouraged by that comment. Now, the next comment is even more amazing to me in some ways. I was shown by the Lord a plane ticket that said 107. I said I thought I was 108. They said, no, you'll depart on day 107 this year, 107 this year. I was sitting in a plane while chaos was happening outside the window. This dream was a week or 2 ago. That is how the Lord speaks to me. I looked afterwards and found out that April 17 is the 107th day this year. I started Googling and searching YouTube to see if that day had any importance. I then found your channel, also looking to the 17th of April. I asked for another confirmation. Then a few days later, I saw you released a video about working for the airlines. What are the chances of that? So that, to me, just blew my mind because, yeah, I'm a passenger services agent, and so I'm the kind of person that gives people their ticket for their flight. And she was shown herself given a plane ticket. She thought she was, and we use sequence numbers on tickets, and we actually, it's totally realistic that I would give somebody a ticket with the sequence number 107. That happens every day. So she was given 107. She said she thought she was 108. And then apparently the passenger services agent, and I'm one of those kind of people, told her, no, you're going to depart on day 107 this year. It's just incredible. So I'm so excited about April 17 and even April 18. But here's the thing, guys. I just watched Joshua's interview with the Sent twins, and it's 2 parts. I watched both parts. I loved every minute of these. It's just so incredible. God is totally the God of bookends. He declares the end from the beginning. At the beginning of this whole delay process, whatever you want to call it, of the rapture, right? It's the Exodus journey. It's the rapture process. There's an apparent delay. There was a scheduled date, September 23 through 24, 2025, and then God delayed the rapture apparently. And that is also predicted in the Bible, Matthew 25, parable of the 10 virgins. What Joshua is saying there all makes sense. It's so incredible. And he is now declaring the end of the delay, just like he declared the beginning, the original appointed date. And you would expect that from God, who is really calling a lot of people to understand ahead of time when he's coming in the rapture, which is just what we would expect from Scripture. But, okay, I loved his interview. However, he does state on that video that Nisan 16 through 17 is April 4 through 5. Now, why does he say that? Well, he has a good reason. It's because the new moon, if you look on Google, when is Nisan 16 through 17 this year? And Google is going to tell you from sundown April 2 to sundown April 4, right? And that's based on the common reckoning, the Hebrew calendar that the Jews use, and so forth. But in scriptural times, there was this idea of sighting the new moon, right? You have to actually see the visible crescent and base it on that. That's what the Pharisees did in Jesus' day, or supposedly so, right? It's debatable, but that's the idea anyway. And so some people think you need to start the month when you see the first crescent of the moon in Jerusalem. And so the sighting of the new moon, this month took place on March 20, so a day after Nisan 1, which was March 19. And that means that the real Nisan 16 in this understanding would be April 4, not April 3, and then Nisan 17 would be April 5, not April 4. And that, I think, is what Joshua is talking about. But, you have a couple of reckonings. You have the common reckoning, which is April 3 and 4. You have this other sighting of the new moon crescent reckoning, which is April 4 and 5. It's pretty cool because April 5 is Easter Sunday, right? And wouldn't that be an amazing day for the rapture? But then you have another kind of reckoning that people look to, which is the month starting with the full moon. And I believe this is biblical. I've shared that many times. So I believe it's very likely that God is going to come on the biblical reckoning of the month, where the full moon starts the month. And that reckoning says that Nisan 16 through 17 is April 16 at sundown through April 18 at sundown. And so that would mean that April 17 includes both a part of Nisan 16 and a part of Nisan 17. And so God was showing this one person who shared the comment that he's coming to take her on April 17. That's the insinuation of the dream she received. Okay, so it's just interesting, guys. It's just interesting. And I think that it doesn't hurt anybody to be watchful on April 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Because these are all days that are potentially Nisan 16 through 17. And to be watchful for something to happen April 12, I sure am, right? We should definitely be watchful all the way to the end, where we have April 16, 17, 18 being a version of Nisan 16 through 17. And it's not going to hurt anyone to keep their mind open to the possibility that God is going to come on a Nisan 16 through 17 as reckoned in a way that the majority of Christians and Jews don't currently recognize. Maybe we need to go a little deeper and think a little bit more like God thinks, as shown in the Bible, right? We have to study, we have to dig down, and we can't just be man followers. You can't just be believing what I say, what people on YouTube say, what people in the comment section say, and you can't just be believing what Joshua says, obviously. His understanding was not correct the first time, and his understanding remained incorrect for months, right? And only in late January, he says, did he come to really understand what his October 13 vision was saying, where God told him the 14th and 15th will pass, but on the 16th and 17th will be the rapture. So I'm just here to say, keep your mind open, guys. I just don't want everybody to come up to April 6 and, April 2, 3, 4, 5 have passed, and now we all give up on Joshua and his message because he said it was going to be April 4 and 5, and it wasn't. And he's wrong yet again. So I think there is absolutely no excuse for getting disappointed and completely dejected for that reason, right? We should know that we have to be studying for ourselves, thinking for ourselves, praying for ourselves, learning for ourselves. And that's what I've been doing. And, my whole channel right now is about watching Nisan 16 through 17. And I've been all about that since the first days of February, right? And you can go back and see that I started talking about this before Joshua started talking about this. And that's because I am watching for myself and I'm just coming into harmony with everything Joshua is talking about, basically, independently of him. And you'll see that I have very different reasons than he has on his channel, but I love his reasons. And I don't know if he's watching my channel right now, but I hope so, because I hope he also is open-minded to the possibility that the rapture is not happening on April 4 and 5. And I actually think it is most likely that it will happen April 16 through 18, especially April 17. And this comment that was shared, it's just wonderful. I love it. And I just want to say that this has never happened to me in my ministry before. I've never come out with a watch date where people have then chimed in on the comments, multiple people. And actually, these two comments that I'm sharing with you are not the only comments I've received where people say, hey, God gave me a dream and showed me your channel. But every time that somebody's had this experience where God showed them in a dream my channel, so far as I know, has been in the last 2 months while I've been watching the April watch season. So that's unique and new for me. I've never had God actually confirm to people through dreams that they should be checking out what I've got on my channel before now. And so that is a big evidence, I think, that we're right this time. And it's so exciting. I can't wait to meet you all at the Rapture this April and meet you in heaven. And of course, most importantly, meet Jesus and throw my crown before him and give him all the honor, the worship, and the praise. So I will see you in the next video, guys. Stay encouraged.